What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. We're going to dive into XRP, Casper, a few other alts. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all, and let's get into it. Okay, first up we have WiseKey and Casper Labs. Now we covered this earlier in 2022. WiseKey and Casper Labs will revolutionize supply chain management, connecting IoT devices to satellites to track goods on the Casper blockchain. And we can see here that WiseSat or WiseSatellite.space constellation also launched with SpaceX, enabling the direct connection of satellites to IoT devices. WiseKey will soon have so many satellites in orbit that data from IoT devices anywhere on Earth can be saved and protected on blockchain. And we can see this data will be stored on the Casper blockchain, providing critical, reliable communication on the location and condition of goods in the supply chain, ranging from sensors on critical infrastructure like the power grid or water supply to IoT devices that can track the condition of goods in the supply chain. Using the WiseSat's orbiting space satellites, we can securely relay data to the Casper blockchain, where a single source of truth accelerates how business gets done. And I know we covered a while back, I think it was WiseKey, not WiseSat. It was WiseKey on NASDAQ on the news, also highlighting their partnership with Casper. So I just retweeted this Casper use case question mark, seeing WiseSat, WiseKey, Casper Labs, and SpaceX. And I retweeted Carlos's tweet right here. Now this is the founder and CEO of WiseKey. And he's highlighting, join us at Davos, the World Economic Forum, WiseSat Space Next Frontier event. Cost-effective and secure IoT connectivity solution anywhere on Earth, using Pico satellites and low-power sensors. And we can see they're going to be at Davos next month, and we know that Casper's also doing independent presentations, but we can see the CEO of Casper Labs is also right here. So I thought this was pretty cool, and this is just another single example of utility on the Casper blockchain. Also wanted to highlight this, so I'm retweeting, giving a big shout out to the X Frontier. And X Frontier is a super good dude. I vouch for him. He has great content, and I highly recommend checking him out. Highlighting the future of financial systems will be a combination of algorithmic smart financial contracts, AI, and blockchain DLT. Highlighting Casper Network and Nucleus Finance, and also discussing tokenization as a service. I wanted to expand this and note that on Swift's website and also from the World Economic Forum, where of course Casper is presenting next month, we can see the World Economic Forum estimates that up to 10% of global GDP, gross domestic product, will be stored and transacted via distributed ledger technology by 2027. So we're talking 4 to 5 years from now, and tokenized markets could potentially be worth as much as 24 trillion US dollars. Now in other articles, even on Swift's website, discussing the volume, if the markets even have 24 trillion or heck, even 10 trillion US dollars, that is insane. For DLT's potential to be fully realized, financial market participants and infrastructure providers need to collaborate to galvanize change. So we can see, for tokenization of securities, this could be bonds, any type of equity, and there's going to be new types of tokenized assets as well. And just remember that Casper will be presenting January 16th over in Davos. And Casper's in the building phase. We have Nucleus Finance and Casper Labs have formed a joint venture, both based out of Switzerland. You can learn more at nucleusfinance.com. And they're revolutionizing the way financial contracts are built, communicated, owned, and executed. So on Nucleus Finance's page, we can see their foundation. And we can see Actus alongside Casper. And Actus stands for Algorithmic Contract Type Unified Standard. So just like we discussed ISO 222, the messaging standard of Swift, and they're actually making it mandatory for financial institutions to get set up properly. Remember that RippleNet is already good to go. So now that financial institutions are forced to update their standards, some people see that as a negative. I think this is a very big value add for things like RippleNet, forcing other FIs just to join a network that is already up to date. So it's all about having a similar standard for messaging, settlements, any type of information, so that we can have interoperability in a world of bridges and not barriers. Actus is taking all of these variables and distilling them into standardized patterns or algorithms. So therefore, we can then focus on the flow of money defined by a financial contract, and then enter Casper. So the Actus protocol, great for standardization to simplify financial contracts that have huge amounts of value. And it's laying the foundation. However, its potential is truly realized when it's brought to blockchain. So off-chain elements offer efficiency, transparency, and interoperability. However, there's still benefits of actually being on-chain, directly on Casper's network, bringing immutability, trust, and tokenization. They can easily shift the degrees of on and off-chain. It will not just be 100% on Casper and 100% off. They want to have bridges. And they can pivot as much as needed for a fully scalable and customizable offering. So Nucleus Finance, with their joint venture with Casper, standardizes your internal financial language for increased efficiency and deep financial analysis, secures execution and tradability of all financial contracts, bringing financial instruments natively on blockchain, making them fully verifiable and auditable, creating much better trust and also efficiency, and saving tons of money and time. Now, another big deal is right here. WM Dot and Service establishes another important element for the digitalization of the securities sector. Remember that $24 trillion of tokenization by 2027. Now, even imagining, 0.1% of some of that volume is insane. And you can see WM Dot and Service actually partners with Nucleus Finance as its first partner. Nucleus Finance and Casper are the joint venture, and they're focused on TaaS, Tokenization as a Service. So you can learn more here at Business Wire per this title. And WM Data and Service is the central authority and data provider for the global financial market, and they're based in Germany since 1947. So just highlighting Casper in that article as well, we can see WM Data and Service is Europe's largest issuing authority for the legal entity identifier and public register for all active financial instruments. So Nucleus Finance brings a new tokenization as a service approach that allows on-chain and off-chain elements for the cost-efficient use of blockchain tech. The first implementation is on the Casper blockchain. And let me show you that on Business Wire just to make sure you guys see it. So the first implementation is on the Casper blockchain. So highlighting Casper as well right below under WM, we have Nucleus and also Ariadne right here for business analytics, also based in Switzerland. Focused on next generation banking software, standardization, digitalization, financial contracts that are based on algorithms. So I also wanted to highlight that, and just another day in this bear market waiting for Casper to be listed on anything, frankly. Binance US, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, Bitstamp. My biggest concern with the whole FTX debacle and markets at all-time lows is that it's drying the market up, and less people are trading, less people are buying, and therefore might push a lot of exchange listings back. Now, to touch on HBAR Foundation, we covered this before, so we just talked about the tokenization of a service with Casper in the securities market. Well, HBAR is going after tokenization as well, with Toko, a huge engine, and DLA Piper, a global law firm that has offices in Dubai. And this is huge. The digital commodity exchange launches on Hedera to further enable user trust and mitigate fraud. So this DCX, the suite of secure and integrated agricultural commodity trading platforms, is now live on Hedera's mainnet. From fertilizer to rice, DCX platform gives improved market access and price discovery. So I truly believe that all of these future platforms that we have that were built during the legacy era, pre-internet era, are going to be migrating to be interoperable, if not exist, on DLT. So remember that Casper can have private chains. There's hybrid solutions. Sometimes they value privacy, of course. But guess what? Even these private chains plug into Casper's public network. And remember that validators are staking Casper, or we can delegate our Casper to stake to secure the network as well for the public network. So everything is all connected. So super cool to see Hedera now working on commodities as well. And just remember Toko and DLA Piper also on Hedera's governing council, and they are also a Casper partner. It's about future-proofing. It's not just picking one single network, but it's good to see that DLA Piper is a council member, so I personally believe, not financial advice, that they have a vested interest in the future success of HBAR. So Hedera is entering the commodities market. I believe they also did a $10 million test transaction, which is pretty big, and they're working on mitigating fraud and risk. So now users on this digital commodity exchange can actually verify individual platform events, even trades. And this is recorded on Hedera's consensus service. We can see over 1 million tons of agricultural commodities have been traded since 2020. Uploading a trade request and agreeing terms with the seller is very easy. We can quickly and easily agree to all contract terms. And we can see in Q1 of 2022, the value of global trade rose to a record $7.7 trillion. This is an increase of about $1 trillion compared to Q1 of the previous year. So there are trillions of dollars of commodities being traded each year. We can also talk about derivative products, whether it's options, swaps, futures, forwards, etc., of course for the commodities market, and that's even bigger. Next up, by Good Morning Crypto, we have Joel Katz, or David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, and also an early contributor to Bitcoin Code. We can see he developed encrypted cloud storage and enterprise messaging systems for organizations like CNN and the National Security Agency, the NSA. Now, we can all speculate whether, Arthur Brito or David Schwartz, a group of them are Satoshi. I definitely think they know Satoshi, the one or the group or the entity, or at least have a suspicion of who the true Satoshi Nakamoto is, whether it's a single person, a group, or, the CIA. Next up, so Anders highlighting this, so we have Bob Way, one of the first Ripple employees, and just going over this point. We have James sharing, Citibank uses their own blockchain settle, SETL, that also works alongside Swift. Has been bothering me for a while as I think they could be XRP competitors. What do you guys think? And remember, according to Ashish Birla, formerly at Ripple as well, he said that Citibank, JP Morgan, and HSBC oversee over 80% of the transaction banking market. That's insane. 3 banks. So Bob Way responds, all large banks are competing with each other in order to capture each other's transaction flows and fees. Transaction banking, that is where all the money is made. Most don't want to dramatically change the current system because it is too profitable for them to risk. And Anders goes on to say, probably why Ashish Birla said that Citi would be Ripple's last customer. The current system is hugely profitable for a few mega banks. And so reading this, I like what XRP Don says, is this good or bad for Ripple? And you know, competition, it's a good thing and a bad thing. And Anders goes on to say, if you're the largest bank in the world making tens of billions of dollars each year as a correspondent bank, you probably don't want a new system disrupting your entire revenue model, which is based on the friction or the inefficiency of how money moves today, even though the new system gives you more reach. A lot of these old banks, they like where they're at. They don't want to change. But fintech firms like Ripple, now valued at what, like $15 billion? They're putting the pressure on with this new tech. So these banks don't want to change, but they know to stay relevant, they're eventually going to have to. And Anders says, not only that, you massively lower the barriers of friction, meaning all sorts of new businesses will compete with you, since the old system heavily relied on the economies of scale, the Nostra Vostra accounts, that are settling behind the scenes, with still, I believe, probably a 4 to 6% failure rate for every single transaction, and sometimes the transactions still take 2 to 5 days to settle. The smaller the bank and financial institution is, the more they'll actually gain or benefit by joining RippleNet. But probably almost all banks in the world would gain from the new system, except very few banks at the very top, Citi, HSBC, and JP Morgan. So that's an awesome explanation. Thanks, Anders, and thank you, XRP Don. Also saw news directly from Wrath Economan right here. You could buy a Katura Reserve home in Dubai using XRP. You can see right here, Katura Reserve, and we can actually do a control find for XRP. They offer buyers the option of buying their property in crypto. We have XRP, Tether, Bitcoin, ETH, typically most of the larger ones as well. FTT. We got XLM, you got Matic, you got AVAX. So MAG is a top real estate developer in the UAE, announced the launch of Katura Reserve's $3 billion exclusive new luxury residential complex in one of Dubai's most sought-after residential areas. So we talked about Hedera having some good ties in Dubai, also DLA Piper's office there, and there was also that license we talked about. We know that Casper also has great ties in Dubai and the UAE. We also have Ripple for a while now, having a regional office in Dubai. And this is right in Dubai's center, the DIFC, with over 2,500 companies across the Middle East. And they like Dubai for their innovative regulations. So the MENA region is absolutely huge, and I think it's going to be key for crypto. We'll finish up with this because I don't want this video to be too long, but this right here, we have Anders just highlighting, and I know everybody has seen this. We have Brad Garlinghouse, 589 people that he's following, 589. We also have David Schwartz, the inverse of 589, 985. So I know I'll get some hate for sharing this, but it is super interesting. Either they're kings of trolling the market, or it's just a crazy coincidence. I personally don't think so. I think, and of course I hope, because I have a vested interest, that they absolutely know something that I don't. We also saw Bearable Guy 123 posting 17 hours ago, wishing everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all. I hope you guys have some nice time off, enjoy some good food, and times with loved ones. Take care. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate hitting the like button and subscribing. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, my link tree is linked right in the top of this YouTube video description, with all links, crypto resources, and discounts. I'll catch you in the next one.